Starburns Audio.
Thank you for listening to the Starburns Audio Podcast Network. We have so many great comedy shows to add to your playlist. Just last week on Starburns Audio, on Ghosted by Roz Dresfelez, Busy Phillips talks about a creepy paranormal encounter she had in Oxford, England, and listens to ghost voices captured by ghost hunters. On Small Doses, Amanda Seales talks to her insecure co-star, writer, actress, and producer Issa Rae about the side effects of being a boss. And introducing That Black-Ass Show, a new podcast with Dulce Sloan. Check out a teaser episode now featuring comedians Roy Wood Jr., Thea Vidal, Derek Gaines, and Willie Hunter, with full episodes available starting Wednesday, April 22nd. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for a full list of our shows, featuring hosts like Tim Heidecker, Open Mike Eagle, and Adam Conover. Don't forget to follow us on IG and Twitter at Starburns Audio. Enjoy the show. And remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep laughing.
Oh hey, it's me, Josh Gondelman. If you're anything like me, you're constantly torn between wanting to know what's going on in the world and feeling crushed beneath an avalanche of horror whenever you read the news. Doesn't anyone have any good news ever? Fortunately for all of us, I have a new comedy game show podcast called Make My Day. Every episode, 3 of my favorite comedians and best friends will compete to see who can put the best positive spin on the news and culture of the week. And then I declare a winner based on who cheers me up the most. Be sure to subscribe to Make My Day on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss a single episode.
Starburns Audio.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-hosts Arm and Dan. Members, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you. Population Lee. Bobby Lee.
Hey, what a great intro. That was really
right?
nice.
Upbeat,
Yeah,
positive.
we're such professionals.
We definitely
and I like
didn't
the
have to
bald guy in
re-rack
the
it.
middle.
Thanks, buddy.
Now
Very handsome.
I hear that you're mad at us, Bobby. Is that true? Why are you mad at us?
Yeah, well, not mad, but just irritated because of the fact that, like, the other day my manager goes, "Are you interested in doing the Sklar Brothers?" And I was like, why don't they fucking call me directly?
All right, so I'm going to remember a time like 2 years ago when I texted you and I said, hey, Bobby, I'm doing a benefit for my kid's school, and it's right up the street from the Comedy Store. You can probably pop back down to the store and do it, and then I never heard from you again.
So I never did it?
You never did it, and you...
You Bobby, were great.
I thought I did it.
Actually, you did it, and you were great. But
you were incredible, Bobby.
You just showed up. You didn't even respond to my text, and you just knew where it was. No, but we just wanted you to do it. We told our people to go out to people wherever they want, and then they said, oh, you know Bobby, so just go directly to him. And we did, and you responded right away, and that's why we're so happy.
Can I tell you why I responded right away?
Tell me.
Because it was us.
Because the thing is that I'm in therapy now.
All right, now, currently?
Yeah. And one of my things is that I isolate and I don't call people back and stuff. Like, I don't even call my mom back.
Yeah.
Like, even if my mom goes, Daddy, he dying, I wouldn't call her back. Yeah.
That's
so one of my
Why does your mom sound like she's 4?
Because she's only 3.
Oh, okay.
So is that one of your things, is to like reconnect to people, get back to them right away?
Yeah, so for me, it's like I'm trying to, like, when people call, text right away and be present and be mindful about people's feelings and all that stuff. So, from now on, if you text me, I will text you as soon as I can, and I want to be I'd reach out and be a normal human being.
You can also reach out and just say hi. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna call you and just be like, "How are you doing? How are you handling things?" I'm just gonna call you.
I mean, out of the Sklar Brothers, Randy, you're my least favorite. But
what? Yes. Hold on a second. I'll take that. Wait. Thank you.
Bobby,
But did I not do your fart documentary?
You were
You were
amazing,
so good
and it
at
was
it. It was
actually
a
it was a poop documentary, but you were incredible.
Oh yeah, it was poop. That's right, it was poop.
Your story about the outhouse in Korea.
That's just generations of poop
Of
on
poop.
top of the other. It was like it was
Yeah.
anthropological. Well, here's the deal. On this show, we
Yeah.
believe that the world's getting dumber. I don't know what you think. Do you think are we getting dumber as a people, or are we just hearing about more dumb things that are happening?
I think because of the internet that we now have access to the dumb people.
Oh yeah.
But if we didn't have the internet, I just think that I would be much happier, because
Agreed.
because the internet is so polarizing, and then you get to hear stupid, retarded.
Yeah,
people.
you wouldn't have access to the dumb people. You're okay, and dumb people wouldn't have access to you. So you
That's true.
Yeah,
and then also I wouldn't have to hear dumb people's opinions about me.
That's right. That's it.
Right.
We should cut all that off. Well, here's the deal. Our amazing fans of this podcast find the dumbest stories of people acting dumb out in the world, and then we just try and understand why they behave that way. We're not even just pointing, hey, that's dumb. We're like, why is that dumb? Why is this happening? And we feel like having you with us. Do you want to jump into a story right away with us?
Well, I
'Cause
mean,
it's fun.
I'm doing your podcast.
Okay, let's do it.
Those
Okay,
are the rules. I'm here.
All right,
do it.
let's do it. Ready? This was sent in by Rich McCabe at Rich TMC, who sent to me at Daniel Van Kirk.
Okay.
And then hashtag the Dumb People Town, which I want everyone to do. If you love this show, be a part of it. Send me stories. Here we go. Guys, I say this with all the weight that it carries. We've got a Greenlee.
Okay. Now, when Dan says we've got a Greenlee, Bobby, that means that there is a journalist, and I use that in quotes, who writes for the TC Palm in Florida, and his name is Will Greenlee. Now, Will Greenlee, we have tried to understand. He's written a number of articles about stupid behavior, and the way he writes them, we can't understand if he has 1,500 words to fill, and these stories are only 600 words. So he
got
just
a lot of room.
got a lot of room to expand, and he just explains stuff that doesn't need explaining. Like in one of his articles, he explained how an anchor works.
He told us what pockets were.
He told us what pockets were. He also wrote 2 full verses of the thong song.
Yeah.
So that made us think that he's trying to fill so that he gets paid.
Or he thinks that the people he's writing to, like his
On the Treasure
journalistic
Coast of
audience
Florida.
on the Treasure Coast of Florida, they're so dumb that they need these explanations.
So we can. So the game we play in this, which is so much fun, and you will get it the second we start, is that Dan will read the article, and Dan will
Anytime there's extra flourish or over explanation.
we have to guess. You, me, and Jason have to guess. Is that Greenlee or is that Dan trying to fuck with us and he wrote his own? Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's so good. Okay.
Here we go. Ready?
Bobby just took out a pen. That's right.
Here we go.
All right.
The headline is, and the headline alone we could all have fun with.
I'm sure.
You could go up at the store tonight if this was a perfect world, Bobby, and do 10 minutes on this headline. Woman denied vodka uses vacuum as weapon.
We've all been there. I
Right.
mean, listen.
Yeah.
Right.
She's going to take whatever's handy.
So wait, is she at a Rite Aid and she tries to take vodka up to the counter? They say no, and then she goes
I
to the
don't know.
vacuums.
Do the chores for the drunk you want to be, not
for
the
the-
sober you are.
That's the right. There you
Okay,
go.
here we
You
go.
would use whatever that's in your hand, right?
I guess, yeah.
Look, she
Yeah,
walks
because I'm
around.
always carrying around a samurai sword, so you know what I mean. Maybe that's what I would use.
There we go. There we go.
we
Don't
go.
deny Bobby his vodka.
St. Lucie County. A woman accused of hitting her boyfriend with part of a vacuum in a drinking dispute got locked up, an affidavit states.
So you know if it's a fight between a boyfriend and a girlfriend and the cops have to enter in, something's gone terribly wrong, right?
Right.
Like you
Yeah,
should be
of
able to
course.
settle everything between you and your partner, period. You don't need the cops.
This woman, this lady, is alleged to have employed part of a vacuum as a weapon during an imbibing imbroglio as it happened on March 20th in Fort Pierce. Vacuum cleaners are a common tool used in house cleaning. Electric vacuum cleaners have been around for more than a century and involve a motor creating suction that draws dirt, dust, and debris from rugs, carpets,
Did you say
and
debris?
Debris, yes. Carpets, that's how he wrote it. Carpets and floors, and deposits it in a bag or container. An early pioneer of vacuums is the late
Oh my god.
is the late William Hoover, who in 1908 bought James Murray Spangler's patent for an electric suction sweeper, which became known as the Hoover vacuum cleaner, according to Ohio History Central. Who wanted you to know what a vacuum cleaner was and some historical facts about how vacuum cleaners came to be.
Was that
Will Greenlee
or Dan?
or me, Daniel Van Kirk?
Who do you think wrote that?
You are our guest, Bobby. You can go first, second, which would be
I think the there's no way this guy wrote about the history of the vacuum.
Bobby?
It would I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That is absolutely downright insane.
Okay.
They're just
Right. Okay. So
You're saying
Dan. You're saying Dan.
So I'm saying the Dan about the Hoover and the history and all that stuff is Dan.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Jay,
Randy, Jason?
I unfortunately, Bobby, we have more experience with this than you do, and
That
there is
doesn't
no
mean we
code.
know.
That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to say it's Will Greenlee.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Bobby. I think it's Dan too.
Okay. The person who wanted you to know what a vacuum cleaner was, how it works, and how in 1908 it was bought by a patent exchange between Murray Spangler and the William Hoover
Foundation.
from the Ohio History Central. The person who wrote that fact or facts is Will Greenlee.
Bobby, stay with us.
Stay with us. Can you believe that was written in an article?
That's a journalistic article. All that.
Can you believe that?
That's an article about a fight between a woman and her boyfriend
In a legitimate newspaper.
who couldn't get vodka.
All right.
It can't be it's Breitbart or something,
No,
right? I mean,
no, it's not Breitbart.
It's legitimate.
It's the
This is
TC
not
Palm.
legitimate news.
Okay, keep
Okay.
going, Dan.
Okay.
I will show you
Keep
now.
going.
I will show you now, and Bobby Randy can hoist it up for you to see. The next thing in the article is just for fun is a picture of a vacuum cleaner with the words "This is a vacuum. It has no connection to the case whatsoever." Photo credit to Will Greenlee. So he took a picture of his own vacuum so that everyone would know what one was.
Oh my God! All right.
So now I think he's writing because he thinks the people he's writing for are so dumb that they don't know what a vacuum is.
Maybe
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What region of the country? This is Florida?
Florida.
Treasure
Okay, what
Coast.
part of Florida?
The Treasure Coast.
I think that's the Gulf side, right?
Probably like the Gulf side, right? Treasure Coast feels like Tampa.
I'll be honest with you. There's no comedy clubs there probably, so it's like maybe they're just, maybe that's just they need that kind of information.
You
maybe
never
it's
know.
This is
it's
his
a town
bit.
of mentally challenged people.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
look,
it's
he's
bit.
providing us what he considers to be a good service.
a
for these people.
teaching edge. This is a teachable moment. Okay.
We'll get back into the details of the case. At around 1:30 a.m., St. Lucie County Sheriff's deputies went to the address on the 13,200 block of Orange Avenue. That's a very high number.
It's a very high number.
A man said his girlfriend was drunk and hit him with a piece of a vacuum because he wouldn't let her keep drinking. He said the woman took his keys and drove off in his 2001 Pontiac, a car brand owned, made, and sold by General Motors until 2010. Popular models of Pontiac cars include Firebird, Trans Am, Grand Am, Bonneville, and most popular, the GTO. Who wanted you to know the history of Pontiac cars, when they stopped being made, and what models they were popular
This
for?
just got real, Bobby.
Well, I mean, now that I know, that he wrote about the history of the Hoover vacuum, I would have to say that
It's Greenlee.
That's Greenlee.
Okay, Jay,
All right,
what do you
Jason?
think?
I think it's Dan because I think Greenlee would have had more details.
Okay.
Really? I think it's Greenlee.
Okay.
I think it's Greenlee. I'm with Bobby again.
The person who wanted you to know that the boyfriend said the woman took his keys and drove off in his 2001 Pontiac. For the record, side note, full disclosure, my first or second car was a 2001 Pontiac Grand Am.
Wow.
Our first one was
a Pontiac 6000 LE.
Maybe you should have put that in the article.
That's right.
And then wanted you to know, the person who wanted you to know that General Motors made Pontiac until 2010 with the Firebird, Trans Am, Grand Am, Bonneville, and GTO. The person who wrote that is me.
I knew it.
Bobby is now so confused.
But here's the thing, Bobby. I'm with you. I screwed up twice. I'm with you.
No. I think that, hey, dude, don't go with me.
Okay, fine.
The next time around, please do not go with me.
By the way, that's
All
great.
right.
That's great advice for life.
I know. I feel guilty.
no,
So just
don't
go
feel
with
guilty.
your brother.
All right, fine. We'll figure.
All
I'll
right.
go with what
Port St. Lucie, by the way, is on the Atlantic Ocean side.
Okay,
It's
so
on
it's
the
okay.
Miami, kind of like
okay.
above Miami West Palm Beach.
Okay,
All right,
Treasure
just so
Coast.
you know.
That
There you
treasure was coming across the sea. All right. Meanwhile, the man spotted his Pontiac approaching the driveway. The vehicle sped away, but ultimately stopped. So deputies took the woman in custody. So the cops show up, and then she comes back in the car that she stole, presumably already drunk.
Right.
Pulls
Drove
into the
up.
driveway, says, "Oh shit," and then
And then
tries to
goes-
drive away, but then just stops.
Stops.
Anyway.
She knew she was caught.
The woman said the argument occurred because she wanted some vodka, an alcoholic beverage made by distilling wheat, rye, or potatoes, but her boyfriend wouldn't give it to her. Who wanted you to know what vodka was? Would that be Will Greenlee or Daniel Van Kirk?
See, now you're in your head.
This is the best game ever. All right.
There's no way wait, just give me a second.
Okay. I'll reread it to you while you think.
Okay, can you read me the sentence again?
The woman said the argument occurred because she wanted some vodka, an alcoholic beverage made by distilling wheat, rye, or potatoes, but her boyfriend wouldn't give it to her. Who wanted you to know what vodka was and how it's made? Will Greenlee or Daniel Van Kirk?
That has to be you. That has to be you.
Okay,
That
All right,
cannot
Jason?
be Greenlee.
That's Greenlee.
Okay.
I think it's Greenlee. I'm not just saying that because Bobby chose the other.
I know.
So my reasoning is that I think it's Dan because there isn't enough description. Like I feel like it was too short.
Okay.
But I also
Let it be known that I'm 2 for 2.
I'm gonna say that's.
Don't go with me, dude.
I'm not. I'm gonna say it's Greenlee.
Randy.
I'm gonna say it's Greenlee.
All right,
Okay.
we're both saying Greenlee, and
Okay.
Bobby
Bobby
saying
says
Dan.
Okay. The person who wanted you to know that vodka is an alcoholic beverage made by distilling wheat, rye, or potatoes, and that the boyfriend wouldn't give her any more of it. The person who wrote that was Will Greenlee.
Yeah, Bobby, you're 0 for 3. Bobby, I just
Do
want-
not feel bad.
Don't feel bad.
Please do not
I
feel
want to
bad.
tell you a story, Bobby. We did this show live
Bobby's
in.
turned away. Come back, Bobby.
Bobby,
on
come
back.
back.
Come on.
So we did this show live
Just
in.
I need a second. Just give me a fucking second, or just give me a second.
Okay.
So we did the show live in Brooklyn, and Michael Che was after the first 2 said, "All right,
I figured it out.
I got it. I figured it out.
He's like, I figured out the pattern.
I totally figured out the pattern. I know how to do it." We were like, "There is no way you figured it out." He's like, "I got it, man.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm telling you, I got it."
and then he proceeded to miss the next 3. The next 3.
He got
Did
the
not
next.
get it.
My problem, though, is the fact that why would you do that?
Exactly.
Well,
I know.
No,
now you're in
I
dumb
mean-
people town.
It's
I mean, the history of the vacuum cleaner is one thing,
Yes,
right?
but to tell-
why would you give the ingredients or the way
I
something
know.
is made? In terms of
who is that for? Essentially, is what you're asking, which is right. Why do
Who
it?
let that stay in an article? Either he thinks the people he's writing for are so stupid they don't know what those things are, or he has an assignment to write 1,500 words, and
And
this
he-
story is
he's
only
like-
700 words.
no, I think what it is he took some sort of class. No, he did when he was in writing class. No, I'm being real.
Yeah, University of Phoenix.
He's like going by some sort of like a structure or you know what I mean?
A
You know what I'm saying?
descriptive,
It's the way
yes.
he was taught.
Yes.
Do
right?
you think it's possible that he does it every time he comes across something he doesn't know?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh,
maybe there's.
he Googles what's in vodka.
It's like I should put that in.
Well, no.
I should put
so
that-
here's another theory, Bobby. That's also we've been doing this game for a while, and he is aware. Our fans have tweeted at him about us reading his articles.
So
and
he's aware. So
Yeah.
now I feel like he's just doing it for us.
Now he's amping it up so that we
Ah.
Maybe he's
But I
trying
don't,
to
guys,
mess.
he still writes one where sometimes they don't have any in them at all.
Okay, so it is just insane that like he's all over the map. There is no pattern. That's why this is the most fun game, and Dan is so
When
good at
the
it.
last time we played this game was at Largo with Will Arnett and Paul F. Tompkins and Colin Hay, and obviously the three
Never
of us.
heard of them.
Every single one of them was Greenlee. There was none that were me.
Dan did
Oh,
one where
you son
all
of
of
a
it.
bitch.
I know.
Okay.
Do you understand the diabolical nature
Yeah,
of that?
then there was another time we did it where all of them were
Can you
Dan.
spell his name? Is it Greenlee? Green
L-
L-E-E at
four
the end, or
E's, 4 E's.
L-E-I?
Yeah, 4 E's.
L-E-E.
L-E.
So it's Greenlee.
Yeah, Will
His name is
Greenlee.
Fred.
Will.
Will.
W-I-L-L.
Will Greenlee. All
That's
right.
right. You'll look him up.
She denied taking his vehicle or hitting him with the vacuum, but she said she did punch him in the eye, a part of the body found on the head, and they usually come in twos.
Okay.
All right, now,
I swear to God. No, I'm being real.
is
I'm
that
being honest.
Greenlee or
If-
Daniel Van Kirk?
If Will Greenlee wrote that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I might relapse.
Okay, but just so you know,
I mean, life is.
You
I
cannot
might do
relapse.
drugs again. I mean,
You-
life is just.
you can't
just so you know, last year,
We can't be the reason you relapse.
last
he
year,
Yeah, yeah.
last year he did an article where he told us what the various fingers were, the index finger and the middle finger. And then he described in detail what giving the bird means to somebody and what finger you use. So
okay, Bobby, it's up to you.
Okay, that is not him.
That's not him.
You think that's not Will? That's not Will Greenlee.
You think it's Dan?
Okay.
All right.
Jay?
You think it's Dan? I'm going to say that's Will Greenlee.
okay.
I think it's Greenlee too, and I'm only following Bobby Lee's advice not to follow his advice.
The person who said that she denied taking the vehicle and hitting with the vacuum, but did say she punched him in the eye, a body part found on the head, and they usually come in twos. That
Usually come in twos.
That was written by
Well, there are pirates. I know a couple of pirates.
One-Eyed Willie, baby.
Cyclops.
That was written by me.
Oh, Bobby! On the board.
Okay.
And he dude, that one was a blow for your sobriety.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
He's back.
He's back.
Here we
He's
go.
back. He's back.
Investigators found part of the vacuum in the road, a place commonly reserved for cars and parades. Investigators found part of a vacuum in the road, a place commonly reserved for cars and parades.
Why parades with car? All right, so who is that, Bobby?
He's digging deep.
Okay, wait. She says
A road
on the road, usually reserved
for cars and parades. Yeah.
like you would say mopeds, motorcycles.
No.
They don't go
Right.
before
Just
parades.
Cars and parades.
Not in
Skateboards would
Florida,
go on
they don't.
before parades.
Skateboards
The
would
Treasure
go.
Coast, it goes cars,
then
parades, then
every-
unicycles,
Then
then
everything.
bikes.
Then bird scooters.
I mean, that would have to be you.
Okay.
It can't be. It cannot be Will Greenlee.
Jay, who do you think it is?
I think it's Greenlee because parade is such a weird second choice.
I think it's Dan because Dan loves parades and he
Okay.
simultaneously hates parades. But it's definitely like in Dan's consciousness.
Investigators found part of a vacuum in the road, a place commonly reserved for cars and parades. That was written by me.
oh, Bobby.
You're
and
back,
Randy,
dude. You're
back.
back.
Coming
You're
out
legit.
strong.
You're so back.
The
Yeah.
woman was jailed on charges of battery and grand theft. Just for fun, we will get out on this. How old do you think the lady who wanted more vodka and hit her boyfriend with a piece of a vacuum cleaner before running off in a 2001 Pontiac, which was made by General Motors until 2010? How old do you
How
think
old do you
that
think
woman
this
was?
gal is? Knowing what we now know about her.
Everything you've learned in this story.
How old do you think she is?
If you're fighting at 1:30 at night and using a vacuum cleaner as a weapon because
Yeah.
you want more vodka,
let me. It's not fair. Can we do like decades, like either 20 to 30, 30 to
No,
40,
no.
40,
Put a
50.
year.
Put a
Pick
year
it-
in.
Put a year on it.
You
Put
have
a year
nothing
on
to
it.
lose.
You got nothing to lose.
So what year was she born?
No,
just
how old is she? Give us your gut.
She has to be. I'm going to say 45.
Okay,
45
good. I
years
kind of
old.
like where you're thinking,
Jason.
Jay.
I say 57.
57.
I was
going
gonna say older too. I think this has all the trappings of I'm an older guy.
I don't think young people own vacuum cleaners.
I think she's 52.
Okay, so 52 from Randy.
45 from Bobby,
Bobby.
57 for Jay.
Okay. The woman who used a vacuum cleaner as a weapon stole a Pontiac Grand Am, got in a fight, punching one of her boyfriend's two eyes, usually, is 32 years old.
Wow, Bobby wins.
Closest.
Nice.
Finished strong.
Jeez.
That's story number one.
You
guys.
finished strong. Okay, so we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, more with Bobby Lee on Dumb People Town. This is so much fun.
Stick around, make a sound for more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, Randy and Dan here,
Right here.
to talk to you about one of our favorite sponsors. They are, of course, Skylight Frames. Mother's Day is right around the corner, and the best gift that you can give your mother or someone that you love is a Skylight frame. Dan, these things are the best ever.
I know you guys always talk about how you send the photos straight to your mom wherever she's at. As long as she's near that frame, she can see things in real time and see the memories that you are making that you get to share with her from the comfort of her own living room or wherever she keeps the frame in her house.
So you take pictures wherever you are out here here, especially now during quarantine when we want to stay connected to people. Certainly our mom is 2,000 miles away in St. Louis. So we take pictures and then we send them. And immediately she's like, they popped up in the frame and they rotate around. It looks like a beautiful frame that stands shoulder to shoulder with all the other great frames that she has set up. If your mom is like our mom, she's got a lot of picture frames. This one is amazing. It's built-in Wi-Fi. It connects with her Wi-Fi and it gives you an email address and a text. You can send them via email, via text. The photos that you have straight from your phone go straight to her. It is the best thing ever. And again, the best gift that you can continue to give because it's a gift that keeps giving 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't love your
You're literally
skylight,
giving someone memories.
that's right.
In real time.
If you don't love your skylight, they will offer you a full refund. You can preload it with your favorite photos. Again, Mother's Day coming around the corner. Let's make this happen. Our mom loves it so much. As a special holiday offer, you can get $10 off your purchase of a skylight frame when you go to skylightframe.com. Enter the code DPT.
Yep.
That's right, $10 off. If you purchase a skylight frame, just go to skylightframe.com and enter the code DPT. That's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com. Enter the code DPT. $10 off, and I'm telling you, this will be the best gift you ever get your mom.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 8989 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 8989. Enjoy.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We've got Bobby Lee, who is a fantastic comedian. He has a great podcast. Tell people about your podcast. Tell people
our fans can start following and listening.
Well, I have two podcasts.
Yeah, two.
I have one called Tiger Belly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with me and my girlfriend, and we do it from my house. Mm-hmm. And I have another podcast called Bad Friends, and that's with Andrew Santino.
Love him. That's great.
So I've been, I love your podcast, and I also like watching the clips on. I thank you for putting clips up of your stuff on Instagram and stuff. It's so good. It's so funny. You are one of the funniest people we know. You're one of our first comedy friends here, especially at the Comedy Store.
Oh my God! Can I say something? I'm gonna just say some memories.
Yeah, please.
Do you remember when we were there back in the day when you guys became regulars? How shitty that club was.
Oh my God! 99? Are you joking?
99, 2000, 2002, 2003.
Yeah, it had all the remnants of like the hangers-on of Kinnison's crew, and he had long been dead, and it was like nobody was even talented.
Yeah, and you guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys pulled me aside one night. And you guys, no one used to give you advice, right? Mm-hmm. But you guys gave me such great advice.
Nice.
And you know what that was?
What was it?
You guys go, hey, I think it would better suit you if you were a little bit more real.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you talked about more real things, right? Because at that time I was just so I didn't know what my voice was, and I was just trying to do different other people's acts and personas, and I just didn't know who I was. And when you guys said that, I that night I said I want you guys to die. I mean,
that's real. That's your real feeling.
I prayed. I go, I kill those guys. But then but that really sunk in. Honestly, but that really sunk in, and over the years, I was able to really just. I'm just grateful for that advice because I took it, you know what I mean? And it was
can I finish that story and say the last time I saw you performing at the Comedy Store, I stood in the back and watched you perform and I laughed my ass off and I'm like, I love how real he is. Not even remembering what that is. I was like, I love how he is like talking with such honesty about literal stuff that is going on in his life. I'm like, he is doing it in such a funny way.
The truth
and the crowd.
your truth is so compelling, and so I think that's what we meant at the.
I think what we meant is like we love hanging out with you, and you're so funny when we're hanging out, and then you go up on stage and you're not being the thing that you were when just the three of us are goofing around and being stupid. And so we're like, do this up there, and because that's where
I have to also say that I don't know why, but you guys are the only guys that when I see you on TV or or I see you in a commercial or whatever it might be, that I don't feel jealous. No, honestly, I'm always like there are some people where I'll like drive by a billboard and just be in a rage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But you guys. I'm so happy because you guys are so talented and so nice. Anyway,
okay. So for this
thank
you for that. And this podcast, I think this is why we get along so well with Dan, is that we believe that it's a community. And so, look, if we have to be in this shitty business, we might as well be friends with the people that we're in this thing with, and we'll root for our friends, because there's nothing better than seeing you in something. There's nothing better than walking in the Comedy Store and seeing your name on the list and then getting to watch your set. That we're like, we better enjoy it. I mean, we could hate it or we could enjoy it, and so like that's really the tack that we take.
Can I just ask you guys a real quick question?
Sure.
So how are you guys? How do you feel about the state of comedy now in quarantine?
Yeah.
And when we'll get back to doing things? What's your prediction?
That's a great question.
I mean,
all three of us are guys who we do the road. Dan does the road, and so like that's a major thing. A major hit to our how we make our money. So, and when it comes back, a lot of the comedy clubs that we love probably won't be back in business.
Oh wow!
They may take a time to get back to business, and so there's only like a handful of people who sell out comedy clubs that will be vying for the small spots that are out there. I think it's going to be hard. I think it may take like a year for it to sort of start to repopulate and come back. And then once people can gather and we all have a vaccine, I'm talking like next summer. Okay, maybe a year from this summer, I think it's going to get back to normal in that way. The beauty is that we've started to book doing this podcast live, which it's so much fun to do live that may carry us through.
Yeah, we may just try to do this in theaters and hold on the stand-up touring.
But I mean, I
miss it. Like we love it. Like
I love driving up to the store and seeing you in the parking lot and just being like hanging out and gagging around with you. That's like a joy of all joys. And we have so many friends at the store that are like that.
Yeah, my agent the other day called me. I'm with CAA, and they said,
name drop.
He's and he said, it looks like you'll be back on the road in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, and we have to just understand that that's the truth, and so you got to work on it.
So that I literally. I didn't cry, but I think I went into a pretty deep depression that day.
Yeah, that's when they're rescheduling stuff for us or trying to. We'll see. Yeah. But when we come...
But, we have to be mindful about what other people are going through as well.
Of course. 100%.
We're lucky. Mm-hmm. We're the lucky ones.
Yeah.
And we have to be empathetic, and we have to figure out, we got to help others, and just, whenever I feel down about my own situation, I have to just think to myself, you're in a great place in life. And I worked hard to get here.
Totally.
But,
of course. But you'll come out on the other side. This is what I believe. It's almost like it's like the steroid era with baseball. Look, all the guys who would have gotten in the Hall of Fame should already be in the Hall of Fame. I think you are a Hall of Fame comic. I think you will come out on the other side of this, and people who love you or who will continue to consume what you make over the time that we're not allowed to go on the road, they will be so excited when you're like, hey, I just announced my spring 2021 dates, and I bet all those shows will sell out before you get there. And I think that's the kind of thing that's making me hopeful, because I think people do miss As much as we miss going and doing comedy, I think our fans and people who want to see us
miss the
are
actual
just
shows too.
hungering for us to come to their town. And
But we
do
get
it.
to do this. This is so cool. Look at we're creating comedy with you on this podcast, and so that still gives us joy. And so, should we jump into another story?
Yeah,
let's do it.
let's do it.
Let's do
Here
it.
we go.
We got
Let's do it.
Bobby Lee here. Come on.
It was sent in. I got to give credit. It was sent in to our man Jake Groney, Groney at Jake Groney, Gronie. But
Thanks,
also,
buddy.
at almost the exact same time, it was sent in by Casey Brooks at KCNOMNOM. So Casey,
Thank you to our fans for sending. these
yeah,
in.
and you can send me any story that you think fits the criteria for this show. Just go to at Daniel Van Kirk on Twitter, #DumpPeopleTown. Okay, Eugene, Oregon, my friends. A raging fire broke out late last night, I assume when they were writing this, at the U-Haul on River Road, but police say the story behind how the fire got started is even flashier than the flames themselves.
I hate
Is
when
that the headline?
Yeah.
I mean, I can I make an assumption already?
Please.
Eugene, Oregon,
Yep.
U-Haul,
Yep.
late at night,
Yes.
meth.
There you
There
go.
it is.
There you go.
There it is.
Might be.
Let's dig in.
That's a great guess.
Sergeant Stotts, same name backwards and forwards.
There you go. Stotzy.
Sergeant Stotts with the Eugene Police Department said this all started with a dispute between a man and a woman in the U-Haul parking lot.
Oh my God.
What the next sentence I'm about to read is just enough if it was this. Stotts said the man was in a vehicle and threw a lit firework at the woman standing outside the vehicle while she ducked for cover. The firework burst into sparks and the man drove away. They don't say they know each other. They don't say that they were there together.
Who is that? That is your first go-to, like in your fight, is not to yell at someone for whatever they
Look,
did
she
wrong.
took his parking space. He has to.
I throw M80s and stuff at my girlfriend all the time. What are you talking about?
Hey, babe, come on. We're going down to the U-Haul parking lot. I'm going to throw some fireworks at you.
Come on, honey.
Come on. We did that thing for you. Do this for me.
Yeah, do
Right
it.
for
Yeah,
us.
it's my special thing.
I feel like if it wasn't illegal in California, there'd be more stories like that here, right?
Just
Oh,
throw-
yeah. There's plenty of people across this country, like fireworks is their love language.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this at you because I love you, honey.
But who knows if these people even know? I don't even know if they knew each other. Maybe he was a John and she was a prostitute. I
Oh my
have no
God.
idea.
Like
That's
what's
his fetish.
then it becomes what goes on in U-Haul parking lots when the place is
Or maybe
closed.
he's trying to recreate the scene from Boogie Nights, and
yeah.
he's like, "Look, I'm Alfred
Thomas Jane.
Molina." And
Yeah.
it's like, no, Alfred Molina
Sister
wasn't.
Christian all the time.
No, Alfred Molina wasn't throwing the fireworks. It was
No.
the other guy,
Thomas Jane.
Thomas
Yeah.
Jane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, so sparks from the fireworks flew near the. Okay, I almost skipped a fun thing. Okay, here's how it started. So the man throws a firework at the woman.
She ducks.
She ducks and runs away. Then he drives away. Unbeknownst to the man and woman, a thief was underneath one of the U-Hauls trying to steal gas.
What? Trying to steal gas?
This is like the opening to Magnolia.
This is like
This is like the opening to Cannonball Run 4.
like Bobby. If you wrote
Yeah.
this script and you're like, they all come together at this U-Haul parking lot, the note back would be like, it's too convenient.
This is just way too convenient.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
the foundation is still meth, I believe. Right? I mean,
Yes, you might
U-Haul
be right.
parking lot
Yep.
underneath the fucking
Late at
Come
night.
on.
That's
Yes,
right.
that
That's
is
right.
meth.
It's
Yeah.
meth. indeed.
So now paint the picture broader. Step back from it. You have a man who does not know this woman throwing a firework at her in a U-Haul parking lot in the middle of the night, and then back up a little farther, there's just some random guy stealing
Gas
gasoline
under a truck.
out from under one of these trucks, and all of a sudden fireworks start getting thrown at him.
Oh my
That's
god.
right.
Yeah.
No one even
I mean,
knows he's
imagine-
there.
Imagine the guy underneath there and thinking of all the bad things that could happen. Like,
Right.
I hope I don't get caught. I hope nobody drives by or sees me down here. Fireworks is the last
Yeah,
thing. in
it's
his
not
fucking
even on his list of things.
Or
he's
that's
heard.
the moment when he like suddenly believes in God. Like
It's
he's
like,
like, oh,
okay.
this was sent.
That's a sign.
This was a sign to punish me for what I'm
God
doing.
I know.
doesn't want me to do this.
Sparks from the fireworks flew near the gasoline, and 4 of the U-Haul trucks burst into flames.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
With the thief catching fire as well.
No way.
no.
The accidental vigilante.
You're in hell, baby. The gasoline.
This is like a Pink Floyd album cover.
the gasoline thief and the woman both ran away from the scene. I hope they don't know each other either. Like she's running for her life, and all of a sudden there's a guy on fire running next to you out from under a truck.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Like, imagine this woman. She just turns back and there's a guy on fire behind her.
Like this feels like a Theo Vaughn or like Ron White story where they're like, there's a part of this I haven't told you yet. Right. The gasoline thief and the woman both ran away from the scene with the thief running away with his pants and sleeve on fire.
Oh my God.
As he's running. Yes.
Jeez.
What was that music video where the person's just running on fire?
That was a Bjork video, I believe, right? Wasn't there a Bjork video?
Why do you think I know anything about Bjork, bro?
The whole thing was like shot. The whole thing was shot like side scrolling, like left to right,
You're
with a guy
very
just
Bjorky.
on fire running. And we have people who listen to this show that are screaming at their iPads.
You're very Bjorky.
And their iPod ones. Okay, which Jason recently found his. All right. Police said once they arrived, the owner of the U-Haul showed up. So now we have another character.
Another guy.
This guy shows up. I hope he was just driving. He was getting milk from like a Walmart.
Yeah.
And he just sees 4 of his U-Haul trucks on fire.
Oh my God.
He shows up and was able to pull security footage which depicted the scene described above. Sergeant Stotts, or Stotts backwards, said the footage was clear enough for them to see the license plate of the man who threw the firework, and they were able to arrest the man at his home nearby before the fire was completely cleared. Little pat on the back for themselves. He's been charged with reckless endangering, criminal mischief, and I believe those are it for right now, says Stotts.
Is it the band Wax?
Yes.
The song Southern California, and the video was by Spike Jones.
Yes. That's
There you go.
100% what it
Oh,
was.
there
we go.
Now I can sleep tonight.
As for,
Now I can sleep under a U-Haul tonight.
as for the gasoline thief, police were not able to locate him. He's still out there running through the embers.
Just try to find the guy that looks like Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. There you
You're
go.
the guy that looks like Ghost Rider? Find that guy.
Find that guy.
This is a part I love. They did speak to the woman who the man threw the firework at, but police said she did not want to be involved further in the investigation. Is that how you get out of being charged with anything? You're just like, I don't want to be involved in this investigation.
I quit this game.
Right. Time out. I'm out of this investigation. Guys, I'm out of this investigation.
This is too much work for me.
Because if she's not with the guy who threw the firework, she probably was lookout for the guy stealing gasoline, right?
Okay, by
how
the way,
does she just get to opt herself out of the investigation?
There is something about this that makes me long for the time when we could all gather together.
That's what they were doing.
Like I miss these times when you could throw a firecracker at
That's
a
what you
woman.
need to tweet out.
You could throw a firecracker at a woman. It could land on a U-Haul truck, light it on fire, and a thief from underneath the truck could run away on fire too. I mean, the good old days.
Two of the U-Haul vehicles were a total loss out of the 4 that caught on fire, and that is story number 2.
Oh my God, this is crazy. Dan, can you give us a little tease before we go into break of what we're going to see in segment 3?
We have it's harmless, but this is a very all-time dumb person.
Okay, so all-time
In
dumb.
one way, maybe not her whole life, but just this one instance.
We're going to find out. The great Bobby Lee is with us. We have one more quick segment. We'll be back with more Dumb People Town right after this.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to Dumb People Town. We got Bobby Lee with us. How can people follow you on Instagram and Twitter? Let them know.
Oh, I'm at Bobby Lee Live on both Instagram and Twitter as well. Thank you.
We are following you, and we love it. And you guys
Do
should
so
too.
and check out both of your podcasts. They are fantastic, and you
wonderful.
are
Thank you,
fantastic.
bud.
So thank you for doing what you do, especially in this time. People often ask us in this time, what else are you listening to? What are you enjoying? So that, people have more time these days. They have more time to kill. They don't want to be around their families. They don't want to be around their partners. They want to put earbuds in and just check out. Listen to Bobby Lee's podcasts.
I totally agree. Okay, you guys
Last
ready?
story. Let's
do it.
All right. This was sent in by Galen Murray at in Galen She Ad. I don't know what that all means,
thank you.
Thanks,
Galen, we trust.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, here we go. Woman discovers, I'm going to give it to you right away, and then we're going to play a little game. Woman discovers bar of soap she's been washing her hands with is actually block of cheese.
She had to have been saying, this is really not getting
I'm
me
not
clean.
getting any cleaner.
At all.
Yeah.
What if that was the thing that gets you the cleanest?
Wait,
Right.
but Dan, who is reporting this news?
Oh, this comes to us from irishpost.com.
Wait, irishspring.com.
yeah,
This is from
okay.
irishspring.com.
Irish Post.
No, but wait, here's what's so funny. It's like, how slow was the news day that they had to pull this out onto the front page?
I know.
Right.
This beat out Corona news.
All right, so woman who thinks she's washing with soap turns out
Miley
it's cheap.
from Vancouver, Washington, thought she was doing her bit to stop the spread of coronavirus by thoroughly washing her hands with soap. Unfortunately, she instead succeeded in spreading some rather mature-looking cheddar on her hands over the course of how many days?
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
Now-
Number one. I'm just gonna say this. Number one.
Yeah.
I have made mistakes like that before in my life.
Okay.
I brushed my teeth with Bengay or whatever, right?
Sure.
Because I didn't look at the tube labeling,
course.
right?
Yes.
But how do you get that to a news organization?
It's unreal.
You probably put it on
Like,
Reddit.
why would you, if you wash your
I
hands
know.
with cheese, why would you call
You
anybody?
call the news and be
It's-
like, you guys aren't going to believe what I did. Why are
Yes.
you telling
Yeah,
me?
yeah. You just leave that.
It's a
about
victimless
a little
crime.
shameful moment,
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And you just don't ever talk about it
Yeah, because
again.
we all have things that we've done that are incredibly dumb, and then we look around really quick to see if anybody saw it. Then we live in our own personal shame for a second about it, and then
And
we
then you
realize
move
it's
on.
done.
You
let it
sit-
go.
you
You
move
sit in the
on.
shame.
Yeah, this is crazy.
So she replied.
So how many days?
How many days do you think she washed her hands with cheese?
cheddar cheese?
I still believe in humanity, and I just would have to say one fucking day, one
One
fucking
day.
day.
Jay,
Okay.
how many
All right.
days?
God, you believe in her so much, Bobby. I'm gonna say 4 days.
Okay.
I'm going to say 10 days that she
Oh,
washed
my-
with this. She's like, this soap is actually really, it's so good. It stays
And the
on
more
you.
I wash it, none of it's coming off. It's not even
Yeah,
shrinking.
the more I wash it, I smell more like cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are the mice going after the soap?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. How many days?
One of you is exactly right.
Oh, so now, Bobby, we get to play the game. Who do you think is exactly right?
All right,
do you think it's you? Do you think it's Jay? Or do you
one,
think it's
4,
me.
or 10? Who do you think?
I don't know, man. You finished
I
strong.
think it's gotta be
You think it's
Jason.
Jay with
So
4?
4. I
Okay.
think I'm right with 4.
Okay.
I
I think I'm right with 10.
Okay. All right. It says here.
10's no way 10.
It says here that she ended up washing her hands with cheese over the course of multiple times a day. One time. The next time you come back, you'll be like, something ain't right.
Right.
Multiple times a day. Over the course of 4 days.
Wow, you're
thank
right.
you.
You're right.
You got a
Thank
piece
you.
of it, Bobby.
Bobby
you.
has
I knew
finished
it.
this so strongly.
Full disclosure, they said several, so I Googled what is the most popular option number for several, and the answer that came back was 4. Once
There
you
you
get to 5 to 7, they start considering that a handful.
Okay.
So they didn't give us a specific, but I went with several. Few is usually 3. Obviously, a couple is 2, but it's definitely not.
I know what happened. I
What?
know what happened. What
What?
happened was that she lives with somebody else and she got caught.
Yeah.
That had to happen. There's
Yes.
no way that can be a self-realization.
No.
Right.
Her
And then,
boyfriend has to go, what the fuck are you
You're
doing?
doing it. Jeez.
I'm literally calling the news so you never do this
yeah,
again.
or they put it somehow it went viral.
yeah.
Somehow it went viral, and then some news organization, aka the Irish Post, said they needed a "and finally tonight" type
Right.
of story.
This is their squirrel water
That's my
skiing
guess. That's my
story.
guess.
Right.
That's my
This guy
guess.
posted on Facebook, hey, look at what my dumb girlfriend's been washing her hands
Oh,
with.
actually,
Yeah.
we were both right, and your incredulousness at her was correct. It says here, sharing her own tale on Reddit. So she told everybody herself, and it was on Reddit.
On Reddit.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Miley explained how the cheese ended up being mistaken for a bit of soap after it was left out of the fridge following a drunken late night snack.
There we
So
go.
does that mean she ate the soap?
Oh. This story wouldn't be as bad if I knew what kind of cheese.
Cheddar.
Cheddar, baby.
Oh, it's cheddar. Because if it was gorgonzola,
I know.
oh my God.
Can you imagine if it was a Stilton?
Every
A
time I wash
Stilton.
my hand, it crumbles up.
It's a blue cheese crumble. What is she doing?
It's terrible.
Waking the next morning after her drunken late night snack, she assumed that the lump was the remnants of a bar of soap. She was keen to stress that she does not actually keep a bar of yellow unscented soap nearby for such use with the two. She does not. Oh, she does. I'm sorry.
Okay.
She does actually keep a bar of yellow unscented soap nearby
Okay.
for such use with the two getting mixed up. So she had something similar. And then,
But was it there?
Where was the
Where
soap?
did that go? Where did
Right.
that go?
This is
Yeah.
this is when somebody gets haunted and
Someone-
they're too dumb
some-
to realize they're being haunted. Like things are missing from their house or stuff
Here's-
are moved,
and then
they're
the
like,
whole,
oh,
and then the ghost just gives up.
right? Because
They're
they're like, fuck it, I can't get your attention.
My guess is that she ate the other soap with some Triscuits.
Go
Well,
for
they're just like eating like plastic fruit. Like, it
I
looks
know.
like grapes.
It looks
you
good.
know?
They look good. It's yummy.
She wrote on Reddit, quote, just realized my soap wasn't working because it's literally a block of cheese. I use liquid soap for dishes. Bar soap like this is gentler on my hands after I do chores, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
After a few days, she was like, why isn't this foaming? Investigate the problems in your life.
Smell it.
Oh my God.
Smell it.
Right. You talked about therapy. Sometimes look inward to see if you are your own problem as to why things aren't working out. Don't just assume that that's how life is supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I got one that doesn't foam.
I came to realize it was a dried out square of Tillamook sharp cheddar cheese.
Tillamook.
Yes.
You're very good cheese, though.
She says it is
Very good cheese. Speaking of Oregon.
I'm more of a Merck's man myself, but I suspect I left it out when I was intoxicated and just forgot. People were quick to comment on the major hand washing mishap and the most obvious question. One asked, but does this mean have you been eating mac and soap for the entire week?
Hilarious.
Another person said, does this mean that you put the soap in the fridge? Because, where would the soap
That's
be?
what I said.
That's
She ate it
probably
with
what she
Triscuit.
did. She probably put the soap in the fridge.
And then she included a photo, which we will put on the Dumb People Town. It's exactly what you imagine it to be. Someone says, to be fair, that cheese does look like a lot of soap.
All right. So if you haven't joined our Facebook page, join it so you
Jump
can see
on
what
it.
the soap looks like. Is that a show?
That is a show.
It does
Kinda
kind of. It looks like cheese.
Yeah.
What a dummy.
Yeah.
Bobby Lee, you're the best. We love seeing you. You make us happy in the time of quarantine. I'm so happy that we have a friendship that's 20 years old already, and it'll.
Honestly, guys, I mean, I honestly, I want to be more. I want to connect with you guys more. So let's
Done.
truly. I'm really willing to do that, and also always call me about, and vice versa. I'll call you guys, and I want you guys to be safe and healthy, and I love you guys so fucking much.
We love you too, man. You're the
Thanks,
best,
man.
and I can't wait for our fans to hear this episode because it's hilarious. It drops on Tuesday. We'll let you know all about it.
Yeah,
And
remind me. I'll tweet it. And
we
stuff.
will, and we'll
Great.
check out all your stuff too, and our fans will as well. And oh shit, we got to get back to work.
Dum 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 dum. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Starburns Audio.
A podcast network.